Hi, everyone. As always, can you hear me? I'm a few seconds late. I saw you were all talking about the Golden Age, so I ran over to to grab it. Not the Golden Age, the new history of the DC universe. The Golden Age is also over here. It is still on my brain, as you can see. I saw a whole discussion going on about Hippolyta and the like on the sides. I was like, whoa, better go get it. I just really enjoy that a bunch of you are also going through the back of this and checking the notes pages to see if things are referenced. It makes me feel far less alone for the fact that I also did that looking for Captain Triumph. Speaking of Captain Triumph, in the video I made on him, I missed one appearance where he had a fairly significant role. It doesn't alter anything in terms of what we were discussing, just about how, I would hope for a happy ending for him. I was like, oh, did I miss the happy ending? And the answer is that I did not. I did not in the slightest. It's so dark. So, but I do kind of want to go back and talk about as redemption and also just kind of as a chance to talk about the grim darkness of the early aughts. A lot of people confine it to the 90s, but the early aughts was going hard to the mid too. Like when we were discussing the Superman robots, it's during that period where people are just getting murdered by Superman's robots. So, how is everybody? How are you all doing? So, it is that time again. It's solicits time. We're going to be talking about October. We're getting prepped in July for spooky month. Because is there any better time? Halloween in July. Yeah, at this point, we're used to the time travel. Oh, my door was not closed enough. Guess who's here? He has not been here for the last few streams. So, welcome. Welcome to Alvin. Yes. Alvin, if he hops up, you'll get to see that he has a new collar. He scratched his way through his other collar. Alvin loves his collar though. So it's not like he doesn't want it. He wanted another one. He was very happy when we got him his collar. I couldn't get him a red one again though, so he's not full chipmunk mode, but we will find a red one. But for now he has a brown one. It's not the same though. Steve Sorensen, thank you very much. What's up? How is it going, everyone? Also at ChemDog, what's up? It's always good to see a classic what's up. It's going well. I am slightly subdued. I got told that I laughed too much in the last stream, and I don't know. It got to me. Like sometimes the comments, they hit you in the heart. And for some reason, I don't know why. It penetrated all through the ice right to the center of my heart. And I was like, oh no, I laughed too much. It was during the Superman stream, which was just such a good time. And so many people just came to hang out. And I really appreciate that. Hopefully, we can do the same for Fantastic Four. We shall see. I really want to go see Superman again, but we shall see. Some people have been asking if I'm going to do a full video on it. I'm brushing my nose because he is shedding everywhere and it's getting everywhere. But the answer is maybe when it comes out and I want to do a more thorough looking at it frame by frame, more of an analysis type thing, discussing some of the themes and the like. And he got so much on my notes. Of in terms of when it comes to some of the allegories or that's trying to work through, do they work in terms of some of the changes that they make, particularly to Jor-El and the like? Does the Viltrumite twist work in that way? Would it have worked better if it had been clear that it was a fake message? Is there still room for it being a fake message? Do you want there to be? I've been thinking about this movie for a fair bit, actually. So let's see. Steve Sorensen, thank you again. Bookshelves, what do you recommend? IKEA, thrift? What do I recommend? It depends what your budget is and how long you want it to last. If you just need a shelf, I'd say IKEA. If you're looking for something that's going to stand the test of time, then maybe check out a furniture place in your area or something. That's what we did for the one back there, because I'm like, these books, they need to not be crumbling. I got an IKEA shelf years ago, a really tall one, and when I tried to load it up with all of the comics, it just completely collapsed. So, but they are very heavy in all fairness. So it really depends. Hi, Alvin. So as some of you may have seen, there have been some announcements and the like for things coming in September. Yes, that sounds about right. Coming soon, basically. So, oh, Chemdog is saying I went to an IKEA once, never again. I go sometimes for food. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'll go for food. I like the meatballs. I know I could make them myself and just put jam on them, and I do sometimes, but sometimes it's nice to go and just be in the atmosphere, be in the environment. Oh, October? Yeah, see, we're ready. We are ready. I have some, of course, I have the additional page with the actual quotes. There's also some more art for the crossover because we're starting with the Marvel one, and it's everywhere. You don't even know. It's because it's so hot that he's trying to get his new coat on. He's trying to cool off. Jace Cooney, thank you very much. I've been wondering, would you ever do shipping/relationship videos again, like analysis videos about how the ships are portrayed in and out of canon media? Would I ever do it again? I'm not sure. And it's not because I don't ship anymore or anything like that. That is definitely not the case. And I do have a lot of fondness for those videos, and they were fun to make. It's just there are so many topics that I want to cover already, and I already don't get to all of the things that I plan on talking about. So I'm reaching down protectively to my microphone, like, please don't knock it out. So it's like never say never, but it's not on my priority list at the moment. But it's the kind of thing where if it comes up and it's relevant to the video, it's kind of like if you were to make a video about the history of Supergirl and Lena Luthor at this point, or Lena Thurul, if you're going to go classic with it, Supercorp would probably come up if you ended up going all the way through to the TV series era, which, knowing me, I probably would. So Evan C is saying, I totally don't understand shipping. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just don't get it. Okay. Think about it like people who then go and watch videos about like who would win in a fight, or like you're just extrapolating about the characters, but instead of extrapolating about their power sets or those kind of more physical based things, you're extrapolating about their relationships. You're like, well, would they get along with this person? Would they actually work in a relationship with this person? Why not? Can we explore that inside of the actual canon itself? Or do we have to bend it more to make it work? What kind of tropes can we pull into play? Are there any kind of missing scene areas where we can slot stuff in? Or is there anything that seemed like it was kind of hinting at something? Or does this feel that way to the person? And that's when kind of headcanons and the like come in. Sometimes those will bleed back. So it's very much, it's the exact same thing as some of the other extrapolations, same with fan art and the like, but it's just that you want to stay with those characters more. You can't stop thinking about them. And it's an extrapolation upon the existing relationships. Some people are more playing with the actual lore that's there, and some people like to branch a bit more outside it. So that's pretty much the cliff notes, I would say. As you can see, I'm still very passionate about it. I still dip in and out and those kind of things. I still have my ships that I follow, all of that, kind of stuff. Chemdog is saying the ship has sailed. But very much appreciate. That was good. That was really good. Yeah, Michael is saying a basis of fan fiction. A lot of early fan fiction, a lot of it involves shipping, going as far back as the Bronte sisters writing their imaginary tales about the Duke of Wellington and his adventures. It's old. Some people think that it's new. It's so old. Do you collect more physical media or digital? If I'm thinking about as collecting, physical, because I do have lots of digital things, but lots of that is for archival purposes or to use in videos. Cardcaptor 17, thank you very much. Beast Boy and Raven is a great example of shipping. They did not get together in the beginning, but through other media. Yeah, it's true, because when you go back to the original New Teen Titans, it was Raven and Kid Flash was the thing. But then through the show, it really ballooned. And now it's kind of viewed as the ship, and you'll see it bleed back. Now, sometimes people like that they don't. Yes, Spock and Kirk, K/S, back in the day when you actually had the slash in between the letters of the name, and that's where slash fiction comes from. And Kirk and Spock was a huge deal and did so much for the zine space. It was absolutely massive. They weren't alone though. There's a decent amount for Blake Seven and the like too, which I know because I like Blake Seven. I love Blake Seven so much. So Jace Queen saying, wait, Wally could have gotten a goth girl in the comics, maybe. Oh, WoW is saying not shipping Raven and Damien. Yeah, that's the thing because they keep aging Raven down. When I was getting some Raven clips for the beginning of that video about the other Raven, the Raven that Robin destroys brutally in front of the entire college campus, it was Raven and Robin relationship moments. And by the Robin, they meant Damien. And I was like, yes, that is the thing. But shall we forget Flatline? We can't forget that. Marilyn is saying, I have to settle with Midnighter and Apollo for Mayan canon super bad. Well, you see, you have that. There you go. It's right there. But yeah, that's entirely what's going on with Midnighter and Apollo. They are just super bad. Edgy super bad. Okay. So we have a lot of solicits, I think. I don't know. I only skimmed a tiny bit to see what I was going to put as the thumb, but I haven't gone through and I haven't read a lot this week actually of anything new because I was so immersed in editing the robot video, which took a lot of editing, but also in reading a bunch of older stuff too. I did take the time to read Absolute Batman 10, which I did enjoy. Ben Chan, thank you very much. Just want to shout out your old Bat Lantern video and that the Hal Bruce tension is still thriving. Yeah, it is. The switch they made. Okay, so the premise of that ship was really fun because the premise of that was that in the New 52, they just completely flipped the dynamic that they had going before on its head and made them super close. And a bunch of people picked up on it. And it really, for a time, there was a real burst in that fandom. It's one of those things where it makes sense in the fanon area, not in the canon area, but that's the thing. Lots of times the shipping space is meant to be separate. And a lot of times those fans do want it to be separate. Some want it to bleed in, and those ones tend to be very vocal, but there are a lot of people who are perfectly content to just have their corner doing their thing. It's just, of course, as with anything, the loudest is what gets the most attention. And then, of course, as always, the people who go too far, because that's always what catches one's eyes. A news headline isn't people do ordinary things in a corner. So that wouldn't be interesting at all. I hope you're ready to hear about Post Malone's Big Rig, by the way, and for it to get real bright. Ugh, it's really bright. Let me scroll down. Marilyn is saying this Superman movie is going to make Klex off the charts again. It's not actually. So I've been keeping an eye on what people are shipping from that movie, and it's more Clark and Lois, although there is like the Klex is going up, but we're not hitting Smallville Klex levels as of yet because Smallville Klex is just off the chain. But of course you're going to see some of it, and you're already seeing. So I'm about to make some people uncomfortable. They're already leading into like the breeding kink type thing because the people who are aware of Con-El are leaning into the whole like this could have been a time for Con-El. So you're seeing a decent amount of that as well. So it also depends where you are. Are you on AO3? Are you on Tumblr? Or are you on Wattpad? Or some of the other newer places that are popping up? Are you like doing the TikTok like visual shipping videos? There's a whole world. My toes are still in. Oh gosh, I'm revealing that my toes are still in. But yes, but again, there's just so much comic content to dive into. And there's always more ideas I get whenever I post something because a bunch of people were talking in the comments of the Superman robot video, which there were so many fascinating comments there talking about, Otto Binder's history with iRobot and Adam Link and a whole bunch of other things that just made me want to dive way back there. And again, I'm never topical. I'm always going off on a tangent at certain times. Mechasaurus, thank you very much. Supergirl number 6 has Night Flame, another obscure villain being brought back. You have no choice but to make a video on her. I have no choice. Have I done one on Night Flame or not? I don't remember. I do have a lot of videos. I may have or I may not have. I don't know. But I mean, that that kind of thing calls to me. That's my signal in the sky. So that is my signal. But let's look at some of these. Do you want to leave, Alvin, before we start? No? Yes or no? Hold on. I need to see if Alvin wants to leave, because if he wants to leave, now is the time, because we're about to get stuck into it. You gonna go? No? He's in it to win it. He's in it for the long haul. Post Malone's big rig. Oh, there, you can't forget. It's true. Screeching Alvin is a happy Alvin. All right, we're let's go. Starting right into it. DCKO. This is the thing that they were leading up to. Now he does want to leave. Hold on. He's like, I don't care about DCKO. So there's been talk of, an event that was coming. This is the thing, a DC Comics event. They even I'm laughing because Mind the Gap is saying Post Malone Big Rig is the next DC event. And yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, Ben Chan, when I saw this. Let them fight. That's basically what this is. So Scott Snyder, Javi Fernandez, DCKO. Bunch of covers of people fighting for some of them. Some of them is just Darkseid. Darkseid is getting ready for a big tournament of people fighting each other. So this is DCKO #1, written by Scott Snyder. Art and acetate cover by Javi Fernandez. The heart of Apocalypse has transformed Earth into a hellscape. In preparation for the return of Darkseid, the end of the DC universe is here. The Justice League's only chance to defeat Darkseid is to enter a deadly tournament, an epic and over-the-top battle royale that will surprise you. The world's greatest heroes fight to become the champion to enter the ring against Darkseid. But there's a catch. The closer you get to the heart of Apocalypse, the more it corrupts you, changes you into something dangerous. Which DC character has what it takes to make it to the end? Who is willing to do what it takes to win it all, even if it means taking down their friends and family? A whole bunch of them. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Oh, you see, I hadn't read these before. Arkham Slayer is saying Darkseid is, but he is not. So how does everybody feel about this? Because I've seen some very mixed reactions. I see someone saying it's going to appeal to the power scalers. My initial reaction was let them fight. Just that was what ran through my head. It also reminded me very much of it gave me teenage boy energy, and I don't mean that in a bad way. And just like that was the instant of who I thought would be like the most. Oh my gosh, my chair. It's so broken. You don't know. There's a whole situation going on here propping it up. You see, that was the karma. It was like, how dare you say that? This is for everyone. But I do have extra info on it. I have quotes, and you know that I want to share those. So I'm always down for people to fight each other. I was there for when they did it with the Robin, with that tournament. That was fun. It can be fun. So I'm not knocking it. Matthew Foster saying, what's that? Oh God, it's Superman with a steel chair. Look out. The Jinchuriki is saying, I have no strong feelings about this. The planet neutral. Tell my wife I said hello. All right. Get to the quotes. We have quotes down here. First, from Scott Snyder, we have DCKO is a knockdown, drag-out fight between all your favorite DC superheroes in a cosmic tournament to save the universe from Darkseid. Darkseid has evolved into something bigger and stronger than ever. And then Williamson jumps in with, he's destroyed the future. There's no future for the DC universe because of what he's done. The hero's only shot is to stop him in the present. Normally that type of statement might not make sense, but given the DC universe and just comics in general and time travel, it makes perfect sense. It's like we have to do it now. We can't go back and do it or go forward and do it. We have to stay and do it right now. So then we have more. We have Scott Snyder saying you have to be merciless to win. And when you're out, you're out. Each level is a new challenge, says Williamson. And the tournament will reveal unexpected heroes. Some you won't believe will go really far in the fights. Cardcaptor 17, thank you very much for saying fight, 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 kiss, 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 ship, kill. We'll see. We'll have to see what the matchups are to see what we get with that. Oh, Lala Papa saying Darkseid is completely overrated. Then this may not be the the event for you then. We have more quotes though. All right, so Williamson is saying Metal was a Batman story, Death Metal was a Wonder Woman story, and DCKO is a Superman story. I wanted to tell a story about Superman looking into his own heart of darkness, says Snyder. It's a very personal story wrapped in 9 layers of candy exploding in your face. DCKO is our thank you to the fans, says Williamson. It's not just spectacle, it touches every corner of the DCU. Big events like this capture who we are as creators and characters. And what's coming after, it's huge, says Scott Snyder. So I do like the idea of there being, you know, an emotional core and it being Superman. It's the summer of Superman. We can bring it into the fall of Superman. I see John Stewart is saying, hoping they release a bracket. Yeah, that would be fun to see who's going up against who. Then they can, instead of let them fight, it can be let them debate about how people feel about the matchups. Deeks Bogart, thank you very much. My only issue with Superman Legacy 2025 was making Jor-El and Lara evil to make the Kents look better. I can see that. I can see that being a point of contention. I can see why some people really don't enjoy that change. Personally, I do think it's stronger when they're both good parents or have good intentions for Clark, because then it makes for a more complex and interesting story, in my opinion. But you can also do things with Krypton being questionable, and people have before. In my opinion, it would have been stronger if the message had stopped before Harem, because even just having the whole like they're simple and like you're better than them would have been enough. Adding that little bit more leaned into being a bit over the top, in my opinion, but it worked for the film, but it also leads to being a bit invincibly. And then with some of the other theming that was going on, it kind of contrasts and clashes with some of the other core messaging that was trying to be put forward, because the movie doesn't then explicitly state that it was fake. But again, it's this universe's story and this universe's choice, but I can also see why it rankles some people so much. But, you know, we shall see where it goes, because also that's the kind of thing that's super easy to retcon later. So you're like, what? That was fake. They were all wrong, you know? So it's easy enough to change it if one wants to or has to later on. And for what it was, I think I always like the stories that play with the adoptive element of Clark, but not all of them do. But I went back and reread some of the old ones from the Bronze Age, and there's some really interesting work that's going on there. Card Captor 17. Superman, huh? Making a bet Zod may show up. Kneel before Zod. Obligatory. Absolutely obligatory. So we did that one. Now we need to go back to share this tab instead. Look on the side, the big rig. So after that one, we have Booster Gold not having a good time. Not having a good time at all. Rob is saying, still not convinced the engineer didn't fix that message. You see, there's a whole headcanon that it wasn't the actual message. But the thing is, part of the theme of what's going on with the movie is that it doesn't matter whether it was real or not, because that doesn't impact the core of who Clark is. Although I do think, personally, I do think it would have been stronger if there was more of an ambiguous inside the film itself of we're not sure, rather than going with the straight. They wouldn't have released it unless it was true that Mr. Terrific says. Justice League, the Omega Act, #1. Look, there's Saturn Girl. Written by Joshua Williamson, art by Yasmin Putri. We have a special oversized prologue to DC's biggest event of the year. Everything since DC All-In Special #1 has been building to this moment. Time Trapper is on the run from Darkseid's Legion, which is officially what we're calling the Dark Legion. Racing through time to learn how to stop Darkseid's conquest, he witnesses how the future is already lost, and the only hope of survival lies with the Justice League. The Time Trapper has a plan to save the DCU, but it means making an impossible offer to the League. Let them fight. So, oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, look at Mr. Terrific getting to be front and center. Batman Beyond too. That's just a nice cut. And look how cool. That actually makes Electric Blue Superman look pretty sweet. So we have Justice League Unlimited #12, written by Mark Waid, art and cover by Dan Mora. As the tournament begins and the transformation of Earth grows more dire, a strange signal is detected at the heart of darkness, which they're loving saying here, at the core of the planet. A terrific tech device. Michael Holt must put together an elite Justice League squad of the most powerful time-displaced heroes from We Are Yesterday to unravel the mystery. And this mission is a one-way ticket. Get ready for a mission to hell and back. You just said it was one way in this epic tie-in to the DCKO event. You know, they have been pretty good at the tie-in stuff they've been releasing because a lot of people really loved the Mr. Terrific portrayal, and there's a bunch of Mr. Terrific stuff that's out, is coming out, and also you have the Terrifics is going to have their thing collected, which is fantastic. The timing's actually aligning, you know, for once. This one I used for the thumb just because I think it's a cool cover, and I wanted to pull it up. Orion is saying, we need the Ultra Humanite in a Superman movie. Gunn did promise more gorillas in the DCU. That's true. I'll take more Ultra Humanite whenever it's offered. That's a nice one, too. Evil Darkseid Legion. Booster. Superman number 31, written by Joshua Williamson, art and cover by Dan Mora. Superman and his allies have been thrown into a dangerous game to capture the heart of Apocalypse at the center of Earth. But what is the heart of Apocalypse? Could it be the heart of darkness? And how are its origins tied to Krypton? And why doesn't Darkseid's Legion want Superman to find out? Ben Chan is saying Poncho. Email Man is saying Gorilla City when? Just a whole movie about Gorilla City. The Flash. All right, The Flash, number 26, written by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell, art by Vasco Georgiev. We are changing it up. As the chaos around the DC universe erupts during DCKO, Impulse has an idea how to fix it. Impulse Point, a terrible move that could wipe out everything unless the Flash can catch up with him as they race through time. It has been a while since things have been this tied together. How do we all feel about it? So I'm loving it personally, but I know that some people find this kind of thing frustrating. Yeah, I agree. Patrick Gerard is saying, I'd imagine Darkseid's Legion aren't big on Superman finding out anything. It's like, no, they really want him to know some things, but just not that. What do we have here? Titans. Look at that. I love that. That's so good. I just hovered my mouse over it, but I don't think I have the feature on where my mouse or cursor is visible, which is good because it would just be going absolutely everywhere. Titans, number 26, written by John Layman, art and cover by Pete Woods. Spinning out of the world-shaking events of DCKO, before the heart of Apocalypse terraforms the planet into a hellscape, the Titans lead the evacuation of the Earth. While the team splits up to save as many people as possible, old friends and new allies join the fray to save humanity from extinction. The next major Titan storyline starts here. Card Capture 17, thank you very much. For me, I see Krypton as good and bad. Like Jor-El is an oddball that was brilliant but did not fit Krypton's mold. Also, I see the Zods being popular in a huge chunk in Krypton. Rao, may they shine. I do like the versions where Zod has a bit more support because we've done so much with the Kryptonians. There are so many versions. There are whole Krypton events that people have just entirely memory hold. Remember when like all of Krypton came back and there was like a planet that was close to Earth, and who else remembers that world of Krypton and all of that kind of stuff? Is this absolute evil? Absolute universe evil? I think it is. Yeah. Oh, some of these are fun. I'm going to have to pull them up. Maybe I'll wreck everything. I'm not sure, but we're going to pull them up. New Krypton. Thank you, Kings of New York. I was blanking. Here we go. This is the Riley Rossmo cover, which I really like because the distortion works really well on characters like Bane. That looks really cool. This is it's very sensual cover that we have going on here. Yeah, Wolf is saying, I love Kale choking out Diana. I do too. This cover is great. And then we have Reverse Flash struggles for Wally over there. Absolute Evil, number 1, written by Al Ewing, art and cover by Giuseppe Camuncoli and Stefano Nessi. Without heroes, without protection, I am not mature today. Without restraint, there is only absolute evil. The emergence of superheroes has caught the attention of the world, and it's certainly caught the attention of the people who run it. Ra's al Ghul, I will always say that, I've been conditioned, Veronica Cale, Eleanor Thawne, Hector Hammond, and the mysterious Joker have worked at cross purposes until now, but this growing threat requires new ways of thinking and new partnerships. An insidious betrayal from within their ranks is imminent. If they don't take action, they'll lose control of a planet that was built to be their playground. Then we have hype for the creative team. Are you ready for the villains to take center stage? I am. I think it'll be fun. Yes, first forever evil, now absolute evil, says ChemDog. They already admitted they're playing with that titling. DC loves to play with titles that they've used before. Michael Brown, thank you very much. I think you tried to send something, but it may not have come through, but it is very much appreciated. Think, Quality, think, says King of New York. Batman. Absolute Batman 2025 Annual #1. Written by Daniel Warren Johnson, James Herron, and Meredith McLaren. Art by Daniel Warren Johnson, James Herron, and Meredith McLaren. This is interesting because we're going to get to see other people take on this character. I always love when the characters get to this point because now you get to see, like, okay, like what are other people getting out of it? Because that's always fascinating. Like how tight and cohesive, how coherent is everything going to end up? Some of the biggest names in comics take a turn in the Absolute Universe. We just named them. They tell tales from Absolute Batman's early days. How did Bruce acquire his Batmobile? For all those people who have been asking for quite a while. And what was it like for Black Mask's party animals when Batman first hit the scene? They were getting their feet melted off. We saw. So, who's ready for the annual? There's also talk that they're plotted through to issue 32. So, may this just keep going. The interest there is strong. You know, it's fun. I just hope that kind of energy keeps on rolling. Yeah, we'll discuss some less fun things later on once we're done reading all these, if we haven't burnt ourselves out entirely. Catwoman. That's the Catwoman. That was almost on my thumbnail, but it didn't quite fit color-wise. It was not, it didn't look, you know, it didn't flow. Black Phoenix is saying, I don't like Catwoman's helmet. It's going to have stuff on it. It's going to like light up and have like images and things on it. I don't know if that makes it better or worse for you. Absolute Batman #13, written by Scott Snyder, art and cover by Nick Dragotta. Batman's final showdown with the monstrous Bane. Will he be able to overcome this unstoppable behemoth, or will he be trapped in Arc M forever? Arc M has been disgusting, and I'm 100% here for it. The floor of just limbs and disgustingness, great. If you're into body horror type things. And the design that they gave to Killer Croc, it's giving kind of Shin Godzilla in some ways, just in the fact that it actually looks painful. And I'm here for that. I mean, not for the fact that poor Waylon is having a terrible time, but just for the fact that it really does kind of give a different energy to that transformation. Stephanie is saying the Catwoman headgear is giving Daft Punk. I was listening to a lot of Daft Punk today because tangent time. They dropped the single for Tron Ares, the new 9 Inch Nails song, As Alive as You Need Me to Be. And I was listening to that. And then that dovetailed into the Tron Legacy soundtrack, Daft Punk all day. It's been a time. There were comments on that new song that really made me laugh that were like, oh, it's so nice that this new 9 Inch Nails album comes with a free Tron movie. Absolute Wonder Woman time. Absolute Wonder Woman #13, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Matthias Bergara. We have Bergara, I can speak, I swear. As Diana learns more of the myth of the Amazons from Barbara in Gateway City, a series of violent supernatural events begins occurring one after another, drawing Diana all over the globe to fight. Noticing a pattern, Diana enlists Etta to help her crack the mystery of why these events are happening in these places and how to stop them. The answer? Too personal to imagine. Dan V900, thank you very much. DC, keep the absolute universe rolling. Marvel, we're pushing miles with Ultimate Incursion and are doing Endgame. We told you the Maker was back in 2 years. Who's keeping up with both? Who's keeping up with all the things? It's a lot to keep up with right now, and it's about to really kick off into being a lot of a lot, but That's interesting. John Stewart is asking, do y'all think, so it's for everybody, do y'all think the Doctor in Arc M is Harley? It would be a fun kind of switch on it. Oh, look at this one. Look at that. Gorgeous. We have Absolute Superman. This one too. I really like this one. Absolute Superman number 12, written by Jason Aaron, art and cover by Rafa Sandoval. No one defies the will of Ra's al Ghul. If Superman doesn't accept his place as the son of the demon, then Lazarus Corp will rain hell on the people most precious to Kal-El, the people of Smallville. So begins the invasion of Kansas. Email Man is saying, dude, these covers are crazy. Yeah, well, one of them is definitely Isley. You see Isley's entire, they call it her ecosystem of just all of the mutates and stuff, which gave me such BTAS vibes, but in a really amped up kind of way. That great episode where the Eternal Youth one, where she's turning all the people into trees, and there's this one really intense shot where they show how they're all frozen in horror, and those are the expressions on their faces. It goes hard. We have Absolute Flash with Grodd, yay. Absolute Flash number 8, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Travis Moore. The origins of Fort Fox and Barry Allen's experiments are finally revealed, but what do they mean for the future of the Flash? What does it mean? Codename Zed. Best Ra's al Ghul story. Oh, that's a solid question. That's a solid question. I automatically flash back to some of the Son of the Demon and those kind of things. That's probably because they are behind me on the shelf and have been recently reread at the time of streaming. But what about for all of you? What are some of your faves that you have out there? Absolute Green Lantern. Look, you see the covers are starting to reveal more of the changes that have been going on. This one's been a ride. And finally, do we have a slate of covers where we don't have Suffering Hal? This one's nice. Absolute Green Lantern number 7, written by Al Ewing, art and cover by Janoy Lindsay. How far out is the world that's coming? From across the depths of space, the Black Stars are turning their attention toward Earth, and only Tomar Ray stands in their way. Who's excited to see Tomar Ray? They are, Codename said. Those are the ones that you sent me. They were good. You sent good ones. So yes, this is still a very fun, very interesting read. I have just not been currently in the present when it comes to making videos. There are so many videos and fun things to talk about. I need an entire team, a squad, a legion to talk about all the things that I wanted to talk about. Batman. He's blue. We all know that this is the new one because of all the blue that we have there. Batman number 2, written by Matt Fraction, art and cover by Jorge Jimenez. Injured, cuffed, and tossed in the back of a GCPD paddy wagon with a dozen uncuffed and violent criminals, Robin, Tim Drake, because we gotta specify, will have to use everything he's learned from the Dark Knight if he hopes to survive his own Dark Knight. Will Batman arrive in time to help him, or will this mission change the way the city and the GCPD view the dynamic duo forever? I see someone like, oh, it's Tim, cool. This is the Jason Todd. This is the Jason Todd series. I like that cover a lot. There's a cat there. There's a cat on this cover. Tyler Preston, thank you very much. How come superheroes rarely operate in small towns? Probably because there's not too much going on. I like to imagine that small towns aren't overrun with just horrific levels of supervillains. Although there are some fun stories where they play with the idea that there would be more local heroes who are more low-key, and then what that means when they have to come into contact with the, more established, bigger heroes, because one would assume that there would be, lower tier, C-list, D-list, all that stuff. Red Hood number 2, written by Gretchen Felker Martin, and then we have art by Jeff Spokes. After the violent events of the previous day, Red Hood is wanted dead or alive by the New Angelique Police Department. But if Jason's locked up or worse, who's going to protect the cops who are being hunted by the tower? It's time for some undercover work. Jason and Huntress work to discern a pattern in the tower's choice of targets as the police scour the city for Red Hood. As if that wasn't bad enough, the tower has picked its next target, the one man who can help Jason and Helena. Can the unlikely duo save the day before it's too late? Then we have Nightwing. Are we actually going to have oh my, is this a slate of covers where it's not cheeked up? Oh my goodness. Nightwing 131, written by Dan Waters, art and cover by Dexter Stoy. Bloodhaven is changing. A new hero rises under Nightwing's watchful eye, while the mayor vows to wipe out crime and restore order. The streets of Bloodhaven are quieter, even cleaner, but a new darkness is creeping in beneath it all. An old enemy is pulling the mayor's strings and is about to make themselves known. Balls Monkey, thank you very much, is saying, I may be the only person in the world that wants Dick to be the one and only Robin again. We will pose it to the chat. Does anybody else want that? I enjoy that Nightwing was able to get his own persona. I just wish they would settle on which Robin is going to be Robin. Poor Tim. Tim had such a heyday. There was a really strong, era of Tim. Look, it's Mr. Terrific again. People who enjoy Mr. Terrific are eating good. So here we have, that's nice. Look at that. Just that, the gargoyle head. I love it. Detective Comics 1102, written by Tom Taylor, art and cover by Mikel Deneen. A mysterious weaponized virus has infected the Dark Knight, and he does not know how long he has left before it takes control of his body and mind. Desperate for answers and unsure how long he has to get them, Batman turns to one of the most brilliant minds in the DC universe, Mr. Terrific. The courage that kills continues in this can't-miss issue. Mr. Terrific and Batman are friends, and it's so fun when people remember that. There was a whole era of the JSA where they kind of just bonded over being super smart and super not here for some people's shenanigans, and it was a good time. But also, Mr. Terrific would help Batman kind of get out of his shell and kind of socialize and a little bit and come to Thanksgiving dinner and those kind of things. It was a good dynamic. Chemdog is saying Batman infected with a virus must be a Thursday. Catwoman. That's cute. So we have Catwoman number 80, written by Torrin Groenbeck with art by Danilo Beyruth. Catwoman has successfully infiltrated the auction hosted by the world's most dangerous criminals. But as seen last issue, she's not the only Gothamite in town. Who else has arrived in Venice? Why is the score so personal for Selina? Most importantly, will any of them make it out alive? Find out here. Mechasaurus is saying, who wouldn't want to be friends with Mr. Terrific? Intense Harley face. Anime bait. All right, so we have Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn number 55, written by Elliot Kalan, art by Carlos Olivares. First person, but I'm not doing a Harley Quinn voice today. All I wanted to do was get kidnapped and go on a nice little road trip. Okay, I didn't want to do either of those things. Now that I have, I would really appreciate not getting beat up by fire and ice and then being thrown into a jail cell with the two Jamokes who kidnapped me to begin with. I'm a free spirit, and I swear I'm gonna get out here no matter what. That's a Harley Quinn promise. Trademark! ! Why is Harley wearing Punchline's fit? She's had this costume for a while. This has been the new costume for a bit. I actually like this costume. I do. Poison Ivy. Wet Poison Ivy. I like this one a lot. I just like the fall colors on it. Ooh, nice. Love the body horror scary ones for this series. Poison Ivy number 37, written by G. Willow Wilson, art by Marcio Takara. Just keeping on. This is the whole time. Poison Ivy travels back to Gotham City in search of aid, only to be confronted by Batman. Turns out he's not too pleased about Ivy's whole "I wound up taking over the terrorist organization I told you I'd dismantle in return for not arresting me" thing. With the truce between the Bat family and Ivy hanging in the balance, who does Ivy have to kill in order to make it all better? Ooh, what do we have here? I like these. The annual. She's given the Lady of the Lake vibes we're going with for this. Poison Ivy 2025 annual number 1. Written by G. Willow Wilson. Art by Mark Buckingham. A tale of times past. No matter what Pamela Isley does, mercy or slaughter, humanity seems dead set on betraying the earth. Yet Ivy still refuses to let go of her own humanity in service of that which she claims to love. Hoping to discover a way forward, Poison Ivy sets out to find the living repository of all secrets, the tree of knowledge. But like those who have tasted the tree's fruit before her, Ivy learns far more than she bargained for. Birds of Prey. Ink. I love Ink. Does anybody else really like Ink? I am so here for Ink. I think Ink is a great character. I know some people are like, it's just Clayface. I'm like, no, the some of the elements they added to her make Ink really, really interesting. I could go on for a long time about Ink. All right. Birds of Prey number 26, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Sammy Barcy. Trying to prevent the Shadow Army's latest plan from turning into a live-action bloodbath in a bustling Gotham, the Birds of Prey give new meaning to the word undercover as they head inside a game called The Unreality with an ally they cannot possibly trust at their side. Nick Ramos is saying, Ink video? Don't tempt me. That episode where Ink has to go and get help from her daughter who she abandoned is just, it goes so hard. And then they do a bunch of work with her in the tie-in comic series, which did a lot of expanding upon some of the ideas. There was a compendium and I saw it at the comic store the other day. I didn't pick it up and now I have regrets. I feel like I should go and get it. But I'm saving myself for the Sandman Mystery Theater Compendium number 2 that's finally coming in August. So soon. Can't have everything. Batgirl. Oh, super cute. Cut out Batgirl. Batgirl number 12, written by Tate Bromble, art by Takeshi Miyazawa. Oh, King of New York is saying, I was scarred as a child by ink going into Terry's throat. We got to see some of that again in Superman when the engineer just pours all those nanites down Clark's throat. An unexpected call from the Bat family brings Cass up to speed on the happenings in Gotham and pushes Batgirl to dive headfirst into a mystery far beyond the streets she knows. What she uncovers is anything but expected. With new allies by her side, Batgirl must lead a dangerous mission to the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas, where a war is brewing and long-buried secrets are waiting to be unearthed. The truth won't stay hidden forever, but some answers come at a cost, especially when Nisa Al Ghul is involved. Evan C., thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. What was your message? I saw it didn't go through. What were you trying to say? Tell me. Which Batman and Robin is this? Ooh, I like that one. I like that one a lot. Marilyn, you know what? Yeah. Marilyn is saying, if I were Clark, I'd be forever paranoid that Engineer's nanites were still in me and hopeful that Terrific's nanites killed them. Yeah, it would be the kind of thing that would keep you up at night, you know? Ooh, I like that one. Oh, Evan C. is saying it was how, has Harley Star faded, do you think? That's a good question. Let's pull it up. That's the question that Evan wanted to ask. Has Harley Star faded, do you think? Commenters are on both sides. I don't think she's as popular in general in terms of comic fandom as she was. I think she's still incredibly iconic and still has a lot of power as a character that people just off the bat recognize. For example, like my daughters just recognize her. They're like, oh, that's Harley, you know? And so she does have that going for her still very much. Her movie's bombed, so did her video game, and her show is over. So yes, it's faded. Not necessarily. There's always time for a comeback. You know, every character is just one good use away from blowing up, especially when they have such a strong foundation to work from. Jace Cooney is saying, would you ever do a John Kent boyfriend video? You said you were suspicious of him. It came close. It came close to happening with the Secret Six that they're doing. We were so close to Jay, but then other things ended up happening. Her show is still going, Kings New York. Batman and Robin number 26, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Fico Ossio. The mysterious Quiet Man continues his brutal takedown of the Gotham underworld. Bodies are piling up with the Okay, in my head, as I said that, like, let the bodies hit the floor just started playing, and now it's there. Bodies are piling up with the quiet man's signature silver coins in their eyes until the killer and Batman finally face each other in combat with shocking consequences. Which of them will walk away, and what dark secret from Gotham's past is behind the quiet man's sudden killing spree? Has anybody else seen that movie where they take Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, but replace it with like children's music and make it a children's concert? It's fantastic. This is Batman and Robin year one. That's right. Let the bodies hit the floor. Batman and Robin year one, number 12. Written by Mark Waid and Chris Samney. Art and cover by Chris Samney. The fate of Gotham hangs in the balance as Batman and Robin battle through a horde of clay monsters that have overtaken the city. Short and sweet. You're learning a lot about my musical taste this evening. I like this one. World's Finest. Are we still playing with the whole Robin and Supergirl dynamic? That date was... I didn't even do a video on that date one. I like this one, though. Batman says Superman, World's Finest, number 44. Written by Mark Waid, art by Lucas Mayer. Because you demanded it. Did you demand it? Were you demanding it? The return of the Supergirl Robin team. Road trip edition. On a covert international mission, Robin partners with the Girl of Steel, the Maid of Might, who chooses to liven up what's supposed to be a discreet undercover bust. Wow is saying Supergirl Robin road trip needs a big rig. I know, they need Post Malone's big rig, and that's the crossover, and that's how Post Malone ends up in the DC universe. The Jinchuriki is saying, I demand anything but this. Megazord is saying, I was demanding it in all caps. Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh, so is that. Dark Patterns number 11. I'm really enjoying Dark Patterns. Is anybody else really here for Dark Patterns? I find it to be such a fun series, even though it's so dark. But look at that. That's just that could just be a poster on its own. Batman Dark Patterns number 11, written by Dan Waters, art and cover by Hayden Sherman. Case 4, The Child of Fire. With the mystery of the terrifying new arsonist's identity hanging over his head, Batman finds himself at a crossroads with one of his allies. Is it possible they're the mastermind behind the flames devouring Gotham City? Superman Red and Blue 2025 special number 1. Written by Paul Dini, Dan Abnett, Michael Walsh, and Rainbow Rowell. Art by Caitlin Yarsky, Michael Walsh, Cian Torme, and more. All right. We got to hype it up first. The beloved Eisner-nominated series returns with a special one-shot to put a cap on Superman's monumental year. No, we can't cap it off. Keep it going. The year of Superman. Witness visions of the Man of Steel and his signature colors of red and blue, brought to you by comics' finest writers and artists. Paul Dini soars from Gotham to Metropolis for a touching tale. Meanwhile, Dan Abnett gives a reporter the Superman scoop of the century. Michael Walsh makes his DC debut, and Rainbow Rowell revisits Lois and Clark. Exquisite Corpses, by the way, is a good time. I'm hoping maybe to get a chance to talk about Exquisite Corpses, because Exquisite Corpses is good, in my opinion. All right. Is this Action Comics? Action time? Oh, this is an homage. This is an homage to the other appearance of Superboy, but he's like, call me Superman. This is Action Comics 1091, written by Mark Waid, art by Skylar Patridge. Superboy learns. Superboy learns what it really means to be a hero when given the choice between life or death for the former hero that has been tormenting him. Will Clark have what it takes to save Smallville and find a cure, or is the young hero in over his head? It's so fascinating that we've gone back to the era when Clark was Superboy as a child after they tried to get rid of it so hard post-crisis, and all the changes and ripple effects that had to now be returning to it. It's just a fascinating time. Supergirl. With Crypto Supergirl cover. Night Flame cover, fun. If I haven't, 100%, yes. We're going to talk about Night Flame. Supergirl number 6, written by Sophie Campbell. Art and cover by Sophie Campbell. Supergirl has been twisting and turning each night as she is haunted by visions of her past in her dreams. And with Halloween, hey, our first Halloween mention, just around the corner, the town is getting up to all sorts of mischief while our sleepless heroes stumble through her patrols. Can Kara find the cause of her nightmares before her inner demons emerge? Find out as the nefarious Night Flame returns. Ben Chan is saying, but will she kiss her horse? Give it time. We're only 6 issues in. We gotta build up to it. Is her mermaid ex-boyfriend gonna show up? Come on, let's just bring all the things. I haven't read Crypto issue 2 yet. I need to catch up. I want to. Aww. Last Dog of Krypton number 5. I am loving all the crypto energy. When I went to the store tonight, the crypto toys were sold out. The other toys were there, but crypto gone. The kids want crypto. All right. Written by Ryan North, art by Mike Norton. Crypto has made his way to Kansas, but there are still so many miles between him and Superboy. When he comes across a home invasion, one that a canine with superpowers might be able to help with, Crypto makes a choice that helps him become the dog he was always meant to be. A long-lost pup finally finds his way back home in this heartwarming finale, and you'll believe a dog can fly. I already believe that. Megazord saying justice for Jero. That's right. Is this unlimited? Yeah, I didn't have to scroll that far. It is unlimited. Glasses coming at you, 3D. Scary Lex. I like that one. Superman Unlimited number 6. My stomach is growling. I'm hungry. I have so many drinks. I should drink one of the drinks. And then we will get back to Superman Unlimited number 6. Written by Dan Slott. Art and cover by Raphael Albuquerque. The deadly special forces of the Cobra cult have infiltrated the Kryptonite kingdom, and now the sovereign nation's only hope for survival is the man whose very presence in the kingdom is a death sentence for him. Superman, an unholy alliance is struck, a Kryptonite king is crowned, and the Viper is strike in this epic next installment of Superman Unlimited. There were too many KKs in this. All right. What are we doing here? Oh my gosh, people remembered the twins. The twins! This must be Book of L because it's like the twins are there. Adventures of Superman Book of L number 2. Written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Art and cover by Scott Godelski. All right. Superman is trapped in a far-flung future, fighting alongside one of his own descendants for an Earth he doesn't recognize. Here, the House of El has been fractured and lost, exiled from Earth and hunted by its enemies. Can Superman reunite the elves in time to save the universe from his most powerful enemy and find his way back to his own time? Familiar faces return, and a terrifying villain makes his first appearance in Book of L's explosive second issue. That's right. Philip Kennedy Johnson remembers. Wonder Woman. She's Wonder Woman. Number 26, written by Tom King, art and cover by Daniel Sampere. Now that Etta, Emily, and baby Lisa have been saved, Wonder Woman sets her sights on rescuing a whole society. After meeting the feline renegades hoping to fight back against Mouse Man's regime, Diana is inspired to join them and take the dictator down for good. Mouse Man knows not what he's up against. Stephen Turner, thank you very much, saying thoughts on Absolute Catwoman's camouflage suit. I want to see the mask engaged. I want to see how that plays out. I don't mind it. It kind of goes with a lot of the Neo Gotham vibes that a lot of the series has for me, even though it's not set in the future. But I do appreciate that it's trying to be different without breaking the mold too much, because there is a certain iconic Catwoman look I feel like that people expect even in another universe. Here we are, Trinity. It's both, I'm into it, but it's also terrifying me at the same time. Now I just want the series to just be about this. Yeah, accurate. This cover is very accurate. All right, so we have Trinity, daughter of Wonder Woman number 5, written by Tom King, art and cover by Belen Ortega. Much to her shock, Wonder Girl finds herself back in the past with Robin, this time hoping to track down a super corgi. But things have changed. Jason and Lizzie are totally crushing on one another. Can the boy and girl Wonders ignore the butterflies long enough to track down a mischievous dog on the dangerous streets of Gotham? I don't hate the idea of somebody doing a potentially non-dark Jason story. More crushes for Jason. So how do we feel though? Is this this would be a chance for shipping? This could be a thing if people wanted it to, but who knows? Probably not. They meet again in the future. You can do your own thing. This is the heist. We've got Cheshire and Cheetah teaming up. Hey, Clarion. It's Clarion, the witch boy. I really like this one for her. Cheshire and Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League #3, written by Greg Rucka, art and cover by Nicholas Scott. With the crew assembled, Cheetah and Cheshire's plan kicks into high gear. The only problem, if they can't figure out how to gain access to the world's most secure facility, the heist could be off before it even begins. As team dynamics continue to evolve, it would be a shame if anything went sideways. Do not tease people with potential sideways. Don't tease people unless you're delivering sideways. Don't do it. Let me see what all of you are saying on the side. Oh, hey. Look at Simon getting to be front and center on the Justice League Red cover. Red Canary getting a nice cover over there. Justice League Red #3, written by Saladin Ahmed, and then we've art and cover by Clayton Henry. Cyborg, Green Lantern, Simon Baz, and Power Girl have no choice but to trust Red Tornado a little longer. He's the only one who knows how to find Red Canary, who's about to be sacrificed to the Church of Blood. Is Sienna a red herring or another pawn in Red Tornado's game? All this plus Deadman makes his first apparition. Nice to use that instead of appearance. Why does the ghost in the Justice League Machines need a ghost? Hey, Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific Year 1, #6, written by Al Letson, art by Valentin Delandro. Billionaire Athena Prescott was once an ordinary woman of extraordinary wealth, just trying to beat out her fellow titans of tech to the next big advancement in human history, and she was willing to kill to do it. But now her fully powered Nexus engine has ripped a trans-dimensional tear in the heart of Gateway City, and we already know that's never good, and granted her a great and terrible new power she can't control. If Michael Holt hopes to survive, let alone save his city, he'll have to finally embrace his role as Mr. Terrific, which promises to alter the course of his life forever. Long-buried secrets are unearthed and mysterious forces revealed as Mr. Terrific Year 1 hurls toward its epic conclusion. New Gods. Yep. The New Gods #11, written by Ram V, art by Evan Cagle and Denise Cohen. Deep in space, in an uncharted corner of the cosmos, lies an enigma, unimaginably massive while simultaneously empty, containing the echoes of an evil thought dead. And now, with the child Kamal in their grasp, the fourth world's most sinister villains traverse the void towards this enigma. And if they reach their destination, the universe itself may never be the same. Yeah, King of New York saying Rafi is cooking in the kitchen. I'm really enjoying New Gods. I think it's very fascinating, and I think it's really embracing the potential epicness you can do with them. Aquaman. On his seahorse, and they're giving it gravitas. Look, a serious seahorse cover. Yay. A cake cover for people. Aquaman, #10, written by Jeremy Adams, art and cover by John Sims. Cursed treasure, ghost pirates, spooky mysteries abound as darkness rises from the deep, awakening creatures long since dead. Something is infecting the high seas, and it's up to Aquaman, the avatar of the blue, to defend it before it's too late. JSA things. JSA #12. It's J. Written by Jeff Lemire, art by Diego Olortegui. The JSA's back is against the wall as the Nameless Ones have entered our plane of reality. Wotan and the Injustice Society are victorious, but never count out the world's first super team. I'm laughing because Mind the Gap is saying crab cake. Green Arrow. Nice. Green Arrow #29, written by Chris Condon, art by Montos. Green Arrow discovers the shocking truth of the Crimson Archer's identity and his plans for Star City, while Arsenal and Cheshire Cat combat his scheme from the streets. They're taking it to the streets. They are using Crimson Archer again. Who would have thought? Maybe that's something else. Crimson Archer time. Green Lantern. Toxic. I hovered my mouse over their rings together. Green Lantern number 28, and we have, we had cake up above, and now we have this. I was about to say melons, but I'm like, demonetized down below. Green Lantern number 28, written by Jeremy Adams, art by V. Ken Marion. A new page is discovered in the Book of Oa that says only 2 words. Hal Jordan. Upon reading this page, the greatest Green Lantern is thrust into a new mystery with massive ramifications. Oh, it's just his name. It's like, that's all I need to say. Everybody's mind just conjures up the end of the sentence. Hal Jordan. And then keep going. Let's see. Are we at the core? Oh, Jessica. A lot of them. A lot of lanterns. Many a lantern. Green Lantern Core number 9, written by Jeremy Adams and Morgan Hampson. Art and cover by Fernando Pescerin and Eau Claire Albert. The lanterns are lit. Now that I have, like, the other slang for lit is there. And so I'm just like, the lanterns are lit. The lanterns are lit. The Starbreakers have arrived and the war is on. The final installment of the Starbreaker supremacy brings our heroes and villains together to make a stand against the villainous Sun Eaters who have come to drain Oa of its emotional energy, all while the mystery surrounding Kelly's glove is revealed. Came New York is saying lanterns are always lit. Dragonberry Me is saying these lanterns are lit, fam. Yeah, that's where my head was at. What are we doing? What shenanigans? What shenanigans have we here? Joker / Harley Malicious Intent number 1, written by Cami Garcia, art by Miko Suyan and Jason Bedower. 1 year, because this was already a Black Label series. 1 year after defeating the Joker, Harley is still hunting serial killers, just not in the city she used to protect. She burned her association with the GCPD and Lieutenant Jim Gordon, and now works with vigilantes to seek a very different kind of justice. But when Gotham headlines about a new series of grisly crime scenes lead to speculation that her nemesis is somehow escaping Arkham to continue his murder spree, she feels compelled to return. Jonathan Crane, former classmate and current head of Arkham Asylum, assures her that the Joker is securely locked in his cell. Yet the women of Gotham are still being stalked by a killer who is using their corpses to make art. The Joker is Muse. Unwilling to return to the police precinct and its regulations, Harley forms an alliance with some unlikely conspirators, and these women work to save the people of Gotham City. So I was not expecting a sequel to Joker / Harley Criminal Sanity, but here it is. Yes, it is a sequel to Criminal Sanity. Oh, it's all right, Gavin. You gotta take time off. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum. This is the mystery kryptonite. This shouldn't be making me laugh as much as it is on the inside. It's an internal laughter, though, not like the external laughter, which I show you so much. Oh, that's really cute. I love that one. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum number 3, written by W. Maxwell Prince, art and cover by Martin Morazzo. Superboy and Captain Marvel ride the rickety roller coaster, literally, through the many-hued amusement park of motley meteoroids that is the Kryptonite Spectrum. With Superman now a bit shorter in the tooth, the boy of yesterday must team up with a truly marvelous friend in a story for the ages, for all ages. What exactly is Nostalgia Springs, and what did Toyman and Savannah have to do with it? Find out in this great adventure, chock full of crayons, kryptonites, and a cruise through comics chronology. Well, I can't resist a cruise through comics chronology. Sexy Riddler again. I mean, every now and again, they hit you with it. And it's always a surprise when it happens. But there we go. Are they allowed to call him Captain Marvel now? They can do it certain times. They can't put it on the cover. It can't be on the cover, but inside and other things, like, sometimes it's complicated. That's why when people are things are going into public domain, I'm like, that's gonna be more complicated than people think. So no, more Riddler. Give the people what they want. Full Riddler cover. Immortal Legend Batman #3, written by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom, or by Erica Durso, Dan Mora, and Daniel Bayless. What's the one question the immortal legend Batman is afraid of? Learn the answer as the hero is drawn to a long abandoned estate on a distant moon, now occupied by a devious resident. In a tense battle of wits, he lives on the moon, in which any mistake will have explosive, tragic consequences. Can Batman solve the madman's riddles? And more importantly, can you? Need this issue. 10 out of 10. No notes. Riddler on the moon. Grumpy Lantern. Green Lantern Dark. Green Lantern Dark, #7. Written by Tate Bromble, art and cover by Ruther Deladera. As New England descends into darkness, the Green Lantern finally learns the truth behind her abilities and the long lineage of lanterns that came before her. But is it too late? All the while, the evil plan of the Wicked Witch of Providence, Demona, is coming to fruition, and it's keen to devour the planet whole. With the fate of not just New England, but what's left of the world hanging in the balance, the Lantern's light will face down the void itself in this cataclysmic final issue of Green Lantern Dark. And then I'm going to read it all and catch up. It's going to happen. I love that the grumpy quote has stayed with me this entire time. Patrick is saying Dan Moore is taking over Transformers. I swear he has doubles like Wally. Oh. What do we have here? Ooh. Uncomfortable. Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice #4, written by Andy Diggle and Rob Williams, art and cover by Leandro Fernandez. The League for Justice has found itself against a foe like none other, General Zod. Will this newly formed team succeed in their struggle for control over the kryptonite core power source and its near infinite power? Or will the dreaded general use its power to make the very earth kneel before him? I didn't even have to make the joke. They did it for me. Meanwhile, Cyborg and Flash, the two newest additions to the League, who are still getting acclimated to life outside Luthor's laboratory, discover a dark secret that Batman is hiding in his cave. Just one? Just one? Come on now. Oh, geez, can we sing? I thought this was a Cyborg series. I'm sorry if that's what you were hoping for. I saw this actually as a separate thing, and I was excited. It's Gotham Academy. Gotham Academy, guys. I really liked Gotham Academy. All right, we got Gotham Academy, first year #1, written by Brendan Fletcher, Carl Kerschel, and Becky Cloonan, art by Marco Ferrari. Olivia Silverlock has a problem, and it is shaped like Gotham's favorite hero, Batman. He saved her when her mom lost control and got Commissioner Gordon to pawn her off on Bruce Wayne, who promptly shuffled her off to Gotham Academy boarding school with a bunch of awful rich kids, as if she wasn't traumatized enough already. I guess she wasn't, male and black-haired enough to be a Robin. How will Olive navigate her trauma as a new student? Who will she share her first kiss with? And why are the existing fans talking so much about maps? Fall in love with the fan favorite characters all over again in this revealing prequel taking readers back to Gotham Academy. Artist Marco Ferrari joins the original team as we return to the hallowed halls for even more mystery, romance, and teen drama. Guaranteed to delight fans of the original series and introduce new readers to the lovable cast. Don't miss the year it all began. Behind the Gap saying, make maps the new Robin. They teased that in like a little story. It's cute. This is the Court. Court, Children of the Round Table, #2, written by Tom Taylor, art and cover by Daniel DiNiculo. Their homes, their families are in danger. Can the ghosts of legendary knights train new champions in time? Will this young band of friends resist the soldiers of Mordred, or will they be captured by a tyrant before they've even had a chance to be heroes? Let's see. Wolf is saying odds that your daughter figures out Court Arthurian and demands you buy it high. Incredibly high. Teen Titans Go, #8, written by Amanda Diebert, and then we have art and cover by Agnes Garboska. Raven's got a problem, and the only way she can save the entire Earth from becoming a playground for her demonic brothers is to win the Azarath trials by fire. Her human teammates aren't the greatest backup, but it all comes down to one last event. If they can scare the demons badly enough, they can save the Earth. How lucky are you feeling, Earthlings? We have a facsimile for the first appearance of Supergirl. An appropriate time for Action Comics 252. Oh, this facsimile for Detective Comics 40. Yay. This is Julie. This is a Julie issue. Yep. Clayface. The tie-ins are actually going pretty hard. House of Mystery is getting a facsimile for number 23. American Vampire is getting a work in progress release. We have Mad Magazine number 46. Flash is getting a trade coming 12/23. Because you gotta check the trades. Sometimes the trades are coming further out now, which I don't necessarily mind. How do y'all feel about the increased gap between some of the trades and the individual issues? Does it make you want to go and buy the individual issues more? Do you still just trade wait? Does it not impact you in any way at all? Oh, here it is. You know that this is going to end up in my home. 12/9. Absolute Green Lantern. All-Star Superman. Jimmy making out. And Silver Banshee on the cover. Love and Mercy. That's a good title for this arc, actually. We have Action Comics Volume 2, Superstars. Aquaman, Volume 1. Batman and Robin, Year 1, collected. Titans, Volume 4. People are saying, doesn't impact me. Gavin is saying, it's annoying as a creator. That's really interesting. I'm curious, what makes that annoying on the creator side? Because I would love to actually hear a different perspective on that. Because for me, I can wait forever. I've waited years for things like the Superman, the oh my gosh, Sandman compendium. Got Superman on the brain, and he won't leave. He won't leave. Patrick is saying, if you want to sell floppies, trades need some delay. If you want to sell floppies too, people need to know where to get them. Gavin is saying trades are better at cons / royalties, etc. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Secret 6 is collected. A lot of people are saying I still trade wait. They aren't really trade paperbacks. After having found out whether the story is good. I see, seeing what you want or not. Undecided is saying, I wait for everything to hit DC Universe Infinite, so it makes no difference to me. Trades are better for storage, says Humongas. Warren is just saying Banshee looks good with short hair. This is a DC's Finest, which you know I am here for. Earth's other Green Lantern. This is for Guy, which will be a fun one to have. Oh, hey, Golden Age Wonder Woman, DC's Finest. Oh, that's awesome. That's so great. And we have the Invisible Luthor. This will be so interesting when you go through the period, like the Humanite Luthor, like kind of transition period. Is that what we're going to get here? Yes, because for some who don't know, there's kind of a bit of a kerfuffle that happens between the Humanite and Lex and some of the transfer of the traits and stuff. Fun. Oh, if you want to cry, you can have this DC compact right here. Silent Night, Batman Santa Claus Silent Night returns. 10 out of 10 would recommend. These are fun. DC versus Vampires World War V, Volume 2. Let's see. Batman by Darwin Cook. Absolute itch, not final cover. They put that there. Like, do not expect this. This is not what you were getting. How many pages are you getting? 544 for 100. Which ones are you getting in here? I need to check. So you're getting Batman Ego, Batman / The Spirit, Catwoman Selena's Big Score, Catwoman 1 to 4. So you get some Clayface in there. Solo number 5. Batman Gotham Knights 23, which is a fun one. And 33. Harley Quinn Holiday Special. Just Imagine. You get the Just Imagine Catwoman number 1. And Talent number 19. That's not a bad collection. That's not a bad collection of things. All right, we got Hitman. Hitman being collected, Volume 2 Omnibus. We got Doom Patrol, Keith Giffen and Matthew Clark Omnibus. We've got Batman and Robin, The Animated Adventures. We have Batman, The Demon Trilogy we were just talking about. Well, not just. Way earlier in the stream, we were talking about, which was, race stories. Here you go. Demon Trilogy, 304 pages, coming at you, 2025 edition. Then we have Wonder Woman, Spirit of Truth, 2026 edition. Paul Dini, Alex Ross. And we did it, folks. We did it. made it to the end. How are we feeling? Are we vibing with October? Are we here for DCKO? Let them fight. What are you excited for? What are you not? Let me know. Tell me things. The end was just suddenly upon us there. I don't know. It just suddenly happened. It was like, oh, we're done. I don't know. I could have kept going forever. New York is saying October is definitely vibing. Tyler is saying, I'm a little excited. Oh, Twin Cat is saying so much disrespect for my boy. Who's your boy? Who's getting disrespected? Edward is saying, I'm okay on KO. October looks interesting, question mark, says Warren. King of New York says sideways. We'll see if we get sideways. People will explode. The sideways fandom is committed and loyal. It's almost as intense as the Poison Ivy fandom, but few can be that intense. Poison Ivy has intense fans. The love. Moondoggy saying, worried no more Zatanna. I hope that Zatanna does well. I really liked the Zatanna miniseries. I think it would be really fun to see more Zatanna. I hope that people buy it. I hope the trade does well, and maybe we can get more of Zatanna, because I thought it was a really good and strong outing for her. I really enjoyed it. What about anybody else? Were people keeping up with the Zatanna series? Let's see. Yeah, some people really liked it. Star Child is saying October is both overwhelming and exciting. If you're keeping up with the main event, it's definitely going to be a lot of tying in. I'm also so sad that the Shade's time is done over in The Flash. I'm like, more Shade. I need more Shade. I'm deep in a classic kind of mood with those kind of characters and the JSA and those kind of things. So it's been a good time for that, and there's been a lot to revisit. Next week, I think it's next week, is the next volume of this. So I'm definitely going to go and pick that up. It's been very busy. I was very I was sad that I didn't get to actually stream on Wednesday, because I was going to, after I went to the comic shop and picked some stuff up, I didn't actually end up getting to go. And Dynamite had sent me a thing about how they are catching up on their releases. So if you are interested in stuff they're putting out, like Vampirella and Herculoids and Thundercats and all those things, they're catching up on putting those out. It's been a really, if you keep up with the news, a lot for them with the lawsuit, and a bunch of the other companies are jumping on to try and get their stuff back from Diamond. I know that they've set the hearing for after San Diego Comics Con. I hope they can get it back. I've seen stuff like this before where lots of times people don't. So I hope that they do. And, just if you like any of these smaller companies, every little bit of support helps. If you can just pick up their stuff, just that kind of thing, spread some love and appreciation, because it's never fun when your material is trapped and you can't get to it and it's being sold and the money's going somewhere else. So, it's a mess. It's just an absolute mess. So but they are, Dynamite specifically is doing a big push to get a bunch of their material out there. They're also doing bundles of their Disney stuff and those kind of things. So if you are enjoying any of those series, now is a good time to check them out and go and pick them up. So yeah, Evan C is saying the situation is definitely, it's a lot, and it's complicated. It's a lot. It's bankruptcy and paperwork and all those things. Oh gosh, that makes me feel ancient. Marilyn, it's in the warehouse for distribution, and stuff like that. So there's a whole thing about people trying to get it back. Image is trying to get a bunch of their stuff back too, because they weren't entirely with Diamond. Like they're partially with, I think it was Lunar, but some of their stuff is still there. So again, it's just a huge mess of stuff. Mind the Gap is saying Starman and the 1999 JSA are good places. Yeah, they are. They're fun places to start, but then you also realize that, yeah, they are also old at this point. Still good. Old doesn't mean bad at all. Come on. We hang out in the Silver Age all the time here. On a more upbeat note, I was going through trying to compile a bunch of Supergirl getting married things to see if I could do another mega episode or if it would be fun to do them individually. We shall see. But the next kind of more longer compiled episode is probably going to be on anti-kryptonite, because that's what the people voted for. Got to give the people what they voted for, which is anti-kryptonite. And I'm excited to talk about that because clearly kryptonite is coming into being a bigger thing again. I just realized I'm talking very quickly again. I met a fan at the comic store the other day, which was a really nice encounter. And we were talking and he said, he's like, you slow down. I'm like, I know, it's true. I went back to one of my older videos and I didn't used to talk this fast. So I was trying to pinpoint when and how it happened. And I think I figured it out, but that doesn't stop the speed. It does not stop the speed. Supergirl robot. Supergirl does have robots and she uses them, and it's an interesting time. Yeah. And it was so tempting because some people put in the comments of Superman's robots some of their favorite robot stories, and some of them didn't make it into that video. I'm like, ooh, it's so tempting. The sequel, the more than equal sequel. Yeah, she does keep them in the hollow of a tree. Yes, she does. The curse of voicing Flash too many times. No, there is, if you want some lore, there is an actual reason behind it. And I think I pinpointed it when I thought about it, because I was like, why did this happen? It was more than just usual online creep of talking faster and editing out breaths and pauses. And I realized, like, oh, when I had the children, and a lot of the times I'd be filming, I'd have these little brief gaps to film, and like in between my job and then the kids and all that other stuff, and then filming videos for the channel, I realized that, oh, I do it a lot of times during nap time or something. And so depending upon how long the nap was going to be, I would talk as fast as I could to make sure I could film everything in one chunk and not have to come back, because I like to do a lot of elaborate makeup and stuff. And so I was like, I don't want to have to put it all back on and do everything. So I would talk as fast as I could to get it out. And I think it just became a habit, at that point. So waiting for that Gary short. Gary is a name. Poor number 4. He deserves a name. More of Comet the Super Horse. Comet could just have a whole, we've talked about Comet a couple of times actually, but it's been years. It's been years. Rashid is saying my fast talking came from my dad. Yeah, some people just talk fast. And like now that I do talk fast, I just keep talking fast and fast talking. Undecided, thank you very much, is saying, I wish Superman had sold Lex and Jimmy to the zoo. We need more interplanetary zoo. What was really interesting was seeing some people who aren't familiar with some of those aspects of Superman's lore saying that they were made up or that they didn't happen. Like, he had no zoo, he has no hypno glasses. I'm like, no, those things are there. It's just, it's been a while. And I was like, when was the last, I feel like you still see his zoo. He loves his zoo. To show off his zoo. Let's see. Manny is saying apparently there was a Comet Easter egg in Superman the baseball field. There's also an Hourman Easter egg on a license plate. So there's a bunch of Easter eggs. The man of the hour. Friday needs his revenge, says Michael Brown. I know. Justice for Friday. Like, we could make an entire, this is the fun of fan fiction. This is where you make some convoluted lore, make it make sense. Friday becomes Metallo. Come on. The kryptonite was put inside him. You can make it work. There are ways. Yeah, Superman Zoo was in the DCAU, but remember, the DCAU is also getting up there in terms of being older. It's not everybody's go-to anymore. As much as that, well, like, I felt ancient when I went to check on when Tron Legacy came out because we saw the trailer for Tron Ares before Superman. My daughter was asking me like, "Oh, what's Tron and all this?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll show her the trailer for Legacy." And then that was 15 years ago. Just because original Tron, I love original Tron, but I find it hurts my eyes now. Does anybody else have that? I don't know. I find when I look at the effects, like, I don't know why, but it hurts my eyes. Card Captor 17. I remember the zoo from Batman Beyond. Yeah, I love Batman Beyond. There was a Mondo figure, I think. I think that's where it was for Batman Beyond. That was super cool. It was one of those things where if I spent money on figures, I would have spent it on that. It came with a little egg that he had to babysit and had the multiple heads and all that stuff. Card Captor, thank you very much. Even Young Justice is up there. Yeah, all of these, like they're good and worth watching 100%. But like, yeah, some of them are getting up there, in terms of when they were made. It's time for a new crop, new things. That's why when I saw they were doing a Mr. Miracle series, I'm like, let's more animated things. Let's bring it. Come on. I'm also not opposed to more adult animated things. I don't mean adult, and like a lot of times people take adult to mean like, oh, it's gonna be full of sex and swearing. No, it's just like an adult animation. Just animation for adults. It's a thing, and it can be a thing, and it should be more of a thing because animation is an entirely viable medium that does not need to be confined to being for children. And also, it being adult does not automatically translate to immature adult cartoons where it's just full of juvenile things. It can just be an adult cartoon. Something else I feel passionate about. Kim New York is saying, "Oh God, please don't remind me how old Young Justice is 2010." Gentry is saying, "Y'all stop making me feel old." I need to get a My Adventures with Superman is gonna be like for some, like their first, Superman things and stuff like that. Primal is a good example of an adult cartoon. Primal's good. I like Primal a lot. I feel like Samurai Jack could kind of be up there because it's kind of like an all ages thing. Samurai Jack is also like excellent. It has a really good tie-in comic too. Mind the Gap is saying in 4 years, Damien will have been Robin like 20 years. No. Don't do that. Dan V is arguing that My Adventures is aimed more towards Gen Z and doesn't have the same pull. No Gen Z hate here. I don't know if it's aimed entirely at them. It's skewed a bit younger, but like no generational things. We're all good. And remember, it's Gen Alpha's coming up now. Let the kids have their fun. Let the kids enjoy their things and have their jokes and have their memes and their stuff. The kids keep us young. Woozy, thank you very much. Ryan Coogler, Static movie. More love for Static in general. Static Shock. Now the theme's going to be in my head. Dragon Bear me saying no fun allowed. Whenever I hear this, anybody think of the scene from the first Addams Family where Fester comes upstairs and he's like, I was having fun, and his mom slaps him. He's like, that's all we're here for, fun. I think about that sometimes when people are like, no fun. I know you were joking, but that's just what I think about sometimes. Chemdog is saying, let the fools have their tartar sauce. Oh. Well, it seems like there's a lot of fun things coming up to be enjoyed. I actually am supposed to film a short tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to. We will see. We will see what ends up happening, what the future holds. There is an interview that I'm editing, which is super late, and I'm going to send an email apology for it being so late, but it's coming very soon. I'm excited about that. Of course, probably a couple more Superman things to get out of my brain, but who knows? Knowing me, I might end up making that Captain Triumph video, the story that I missed. Who knows? You'll have to tune in to find out. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah, Books versus Movies saying DC Superhero Girls is a new entry. Yeah, it is. It is. And yeah, my girls like DC Superhero Girls a lot, actually. Because even Teen Titans Go is getting up there too, as well, in terms of how long that's been going. Wow. Time. What is time? So thanks so much for coming, for hanging out, for solicit time. You might say, do it live. Maybe we'll be back for Fantastic Four for a live. Who knows when we'll be back, but we'll be back for more things. Wait, wait, before I go, quickly. I have time for this. There's time enough for this. I wanted to show you the covers. How could I forget? One of them is the team up one. Hold on. Hold on. I have it open. Why waste a tab? There we go. Here are some of the other covers for the stuff, the Captain America and the Wonder Woman and things like that. Let me scroll down and show you some of the variants. There we go. We have a joke here from Zdarsky saying, I kind of assume Marvel would let me draw a variant cover, but then I see Terry did one, even though he already gets to draw the amazing story inside. Doesn't seem fair. So we have this one looking very nice. Diana with another Steve. Look out, Steve. Then do we have the other covers? We do. Let's pull them up. So we got this one, Magic, Catwoman things. We got to see this one again because it's in the slideshow. We got to see brutal slapdown Batman, Wolverine evoking some Dark Claw vibes. Remember when they were combined into one? So, and then we have a Pete Momoko one with Elektra and Batgirl. Is that all she wrote? Yeah, it is. So yes, but worth it though. 100% worth it to show you though. But yes, I am going to pop off and probably do more work. But thanks so much for taking some time. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening. And yeah, see you again when I see you.